All right, in this video we're going to be talking about the new Shibuya chapter that's surprisingly coming out in 9 days time. So essentially they did actually tease this, saying that there would be a new chapter for Shibuya end of April, and also leading in to a new unit end of April. And specifically, keyword, it meant like new, like not some unit we got before, but specifically wording it in a way that meant we're getting a unit we haven't seen before, right? So, you know, there's a couple options that we are going to talk about. And this chapter is called Science, right? So we kind of could guess what exactly we're going to be seeing, but we're going to talk about that. And it's going to be coming out on April 21st on Monday. So, okay, that's actually not bad. That's not bad. So we'll definitely take that. And obviously we could see who exactly they're already fighting. And this is obviously the fight versus Jiro. All right. Now, of course, like last time, just to make sure it's understood, we did not get Gojo, right? We did not. Now, we did get a recollection bit, right, with Gojo in it. So they could easily do that again. I could see them for sure doing this, right? Maybe they give us one with these two, for example. If this is the one on the cover, then it could easily be them. But we could see that we did have them, right, same way as there is Megumi and Yuji, which, by the way, the art actually looks really nice. But the thing is, did we get a Gojo? No. So this does not confirm a Yuji, a Megumi, or even, oh, what's his name? Where's it? Jiro. Sorry. Heike, like, I've just been referring to him as the bald man. So now let's kind of get into it. So Science, what exactly does that entail for us? Well, we finished off at Pandemonium, which means we're starting with Summon. And guess what? Inside Summon, they have the Science technique, which is essentially, to my understanding, the transformation technique where Toji, or they try to take over Toji's body, and Toji says fuck off, basically. So this is gonna be the start, right, being the Science, and that's exactly what it's called. Now the thing is, it will also be 36, I think, because I think this is where Jiro is, like the battle with Jiro is, unless I'm mistaken. Oh wait, is it here? It might be. It actually might be. I'm not too sure. If I'm being honest, I'm not too sure. Let's look at it. So I think it might actually be in 35. So it might be a very short chapter. Yeah. It might be a short chapter because it's 35, but I could see 36 and episode 37 in there. They're possibilities. So now let's talk about the potential units. So if we check, right, the units that the characters that we do see in this, which I like that they show the characters that appear, are all of these. Now, mainly, also, I love this so much. But mainly, like, you'll see, like, Yuji, Ino, right? Megumi, Nanami, Jiro, Ogami, right? And then here, there's a bunch of characters. And here, like, I mean, there's CHOSO, cool, because this is when they fight and all that stuff. So, I see a couple things, all right? We could see Toji. Toji is somehow a possibility, but the chapter name is named after him, so if anything, he might be, like, taken off the list because of that. Maybe. I could see that as a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. So he's number one. Now, it would make sense. I mean, listen, it's almost been a year since our last Toji, and I mean, sure, it could technically be counted as our last, like, canon Toji, but they could always make more, okay? Like, in the next original story, I would not be surprised if out of bumfuck nowhere, they resurrect Toji a second time, right? So this is number one. Now, number two is, in fact, his name is Jiro, the bald man. Jiro, I swear it's Jiro. If it's not, at this point, I don't give a fuck, man. But the bald man, okay. He does have a chance. I just don't think it's gonna be that much of a chance. I feel like he's, like, if anything, it's like a filler. And I guess you could consider this a filler because they've been going at 2 months per chapter, but now they're kind of speeding it up. But it's a possibility. It's just that he's also, like, the title name is Science, which refers to Toji, and then the cover art being Yuji and Megumi versus Jiro is, well, it's the cover art, so maybe Jiro is, like, deconfirmed. These are the two units that are, like, either the cover art confirms it or deconfirms it, but because of Gojo, I'd lean more into one of these two getting a recollection bit than anything, which it kind of sucks, right? But hey, if we have resurrected Toji in the game, just in a recollection bit for now. I'm fine with that. I'm more than fine with that. So, you know, that's the next unit. Now, I could also see Ino. Ino was actually mentioned in one of the... Where is it? 36? Is he in 36? No, it's here. Might be 37. No, he is here. Yeah, so he's in 36. Yeah, so it's 36, I guess, versus Toji. Is it? I actually don't know if it's here. But... I think he was trying to, I mean, we could see it here. He's fighting Toji, right? So I could definitely see Ino happening. And if it is Ino, my guess is, personally, obviously, with his relationship to Nanami, I could definitely see Nanami being the map event unit. Because essentially, they do a map event, like, quote-unquote, original unit. And then they do, like, the Shibuya unit, essentially. Because they did Miwa, who has a relation to Muta, right? And then with... Who was it? Who was it next? Being Mei, right? I don't know why I even forgot that. But being Mei, right? There's not really many people that you could tie into Mei. Let me know if I'm wrong, but they did put Maki there. Now, one thing to mention that is important with all this, for the map event at least, is if we check here, I swear it was here, but yes, all these characters are slowly being added, right? Which you might not like agree with me, but look, Mei is added, okay. Inumaki was added, Maki was added, right? So they could easily go through this list. And the thing is, all the other units have been units with buffs, right? So they all fit the same criteria. Inumaki, his yellow version got buffed, and he got a new unit. Maki, her red version was buffed, and she got a new unit. Nobara, her yellow and red version were buffed, Nobara, what the fuck am I on? Nobara didn't get a new unit. The fuck? Okay, anyway. I'm thinking it's Nanami. I think they're going to take from this list. I see it. So Nanami's probably going to be the map event unit, right? That's what I see, at least. That is what I see. And then obviously Ino's right there with an art. Obviously it's for the cover art or the promotional art. But still, I think Ino is a very high chance if they release Nanami as the map event unit. And then Choso. So Choso is, I think, episode 30, what, 35 we saw? So, no, 37, my bad, 37. So Choso is a possibility, but I'm not gonna bet on it. If anything, I think he'll be probably, like, either half Annie or even second Annie. Like, they're probably gonna... He's probably going to be before second Annie, but I could see him being a very hype and good release, but I don't know about right now. Right before Annie, maybe, right? Maybe before anniversary, they want to milk us dry. I just want to see, what have they done in the past, right? Like for half Annie, what did they released a lot in May, right? Or like, I mean in April technically, right? They had a lot. And then for first Annie, I mean, shit. Like, November didn't have much. Well, I mean, there was Kaido, but October was a pretty good month with Megumi and Nobara. So, they could definitely milk us dry if they use Choso now. And then there is also Wee. I think Wee is possible. The reason is because if he didn't come out with Mei, if he came out with Mei, he would have been an SR. So, that means they might dedicate just a release to Wee as an SSR. And that means he'd be a mono red SSR support. So that's my personal thoughts. Now, those are the units I think, right? These are the 5 units I'd see for the Shibuya unit this month. But, you know, let me know what you think down below. Now, if it is a DPS, I don't see red. Red is a little overboard on DPS. Blue, like, I would be fine with a blue DPS, but it's like, it is starting to get clunky. Like, this is my problem now. Is that no matter what they release, I wouldn't be, like, excited about it, right? Because, like, I guess they could release a blue DPS. They could, because there's only, like, 2 really good blue units here. I feel like a blue DPS will make somewhat sense, but it's, like, 3 blue DPSs in a row. I don't know. For green, no. I just want them to stay away from green DPSs. Like, I don't know. It's just that because, like, they're not really advancing how good, like, the like overall floor of the units have been increased, right? You're never going to see a new unit besides Miwa in 2025 released below S tier, right? So the overall floor has increased because every single new DPS that's came out in 2025, SS, right? Mei, Maki, Muta, is there any else? I mean, also the SPs, right? So And she's a tank and she's still an A. So, you know, there's that. And even for supports, I mean, the lowest is S, like I said. So they are definitely increasing the floor, but the overall ceiling has not really increased. And they should probably do that soon. Because it's kind of making me like, okay, I don't know what typing I want them to be, because we already have from every typing, right? So if anything, like, it's not red, it's not green, I don't think. In my opinion, it should be yellow. Like, yellow would make sense. Like, getting a solid, like, blue Maki level yellow could be nice. I mean, if it's like, who would it, like, fuck. Thing is, I don't want Toji to be just like a solid unit, right? Bottom of SS, like, I want him to be up there. So, like, I don't know. Maybe they could release of Wee Wee. I would kind of like it. I would want another mono red support, and like, you might be like, no, but that makes no sense, they just released one. And my counterpoint is that in November we got Kaido, who's a mono yellow, and then what, in February we got Shoko, so they could easily do it. Like, I know it's only like a 2-month gap, but I could see it. And also it would work with Mei Mei, and I'd be happy with that. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Those are the 5 characters I think we're gonna get for the update. But if it's anyone else, well, then we'll find that out. But I think it has a high chance. Personally, my personal pick is Ino. Ino and Nanami. If it's another Nanami, that means we're finally getting a red SSR Nanami. And that also does line up. Hold up, that does line up. You know why? Blue Maki had an SR. Red Inumaki had a rare. Green Mekamaru Muta had a SR, right? Am I missing anyone? I mean, this doesn't really count. First time. No, I think that's kind of it, right? So Nanami has a red SR version, so they could easily add this here if we do get him. I'd be personally, like, that's the only red unit I would accept. I'd be pretty content with that. Hopefully he's really good. I mean, he'd basically, it would fill a niche of a Black Flash unit, so I guess that's good. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching the video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.